Alright, y'all, I'm looking very, very bright right now. Yes, this entire snapshot has broken a lot of things, but it's also added some really interesting things. Now, you're gonna see around this entire world right now, I have made it so that abandoned camps are gonna spawn basically in every single chunk possible. Now, this has nothing to do with this snapshot. It has something to do with the last snapshot, though. I have here a savannah abandoned camp, probably a flower forest one, I don't know. Look at this rabbit. Completely broken right now. Does anyone use Vulkan on Mac? I want to see the pink screen. I'll explain everything here in a second, but I want to show you guys all of this first. Bamboo jungle, something else. Just lots and lots of abandoned camps. Basically spawning different structures. Hair oak tree right here. Cherry tree. Tall birch tree. All entirely inside a desert. This is all possible with the world gen features. I'm going to generate the exact same world settings in a different world. And this should do the same thing. Where is it? There's one right here. There's a dappled forest. And just over here, it's spawning on ice. It's spawning on 2 chunk radii every single time simply because they do take up quite a bit of space. We'll go to the nether and see what's happening because I made this also work in the nether. You'll see that it's not spawning here. I have to go above the bedrock surface and there we go. It's spawning on the bedrock surface. It's breaking bedrock. And then once you hit the basalt deltas, it starts peaking up here. For some reason, the basalt delta structures do spawn above them. Clearly something's happening here. It's placed a lava pool on top of the tree. You can see now it's a lot more gridded. And let's go to the end. And there it's trying to replace the fountain or the podium, but it really can't. All these structures over here, but the coolest thing happens when you enter the void. They're all here as well. All of them are trying to spawn in the void. You can actually see them doing this. This is a really nice challenge, and of course once the fog dissipates, the entire structure grid appears right here. Honestly, this looks really sick, very surreal, almost very liminal, and I wonder if it's possible to beat the game in this scenario. So if you just have an entire void area and you spawn somewhere in the distance, surely you can beat the game because you can just break all the blocks in pillar. Fine. But I think this looks fascinating. All it really does take is just a few changes, making sure each biome specific abandoned camp does spawn in every single biome possible. Here it's in the end, I made it spawn in the nether in every single nether biome, and then just making sure they all spawn very close to each other. I will leave this exact data pack in the description so you can download this, as well as what I'm about to show you. I'm not kidding. There is the possibility of having a survival mode debug stick come to the game in this update, or at least a highly desired debug feature. First of all, in the patch notes, you'll notice there are 2 big changes here. Number 1, persistent mobs will not random walk or swim if the player is not nearby. And obviously, as they gear up towards Vulkan, there are transparency changes, which you can see right here, well demonstrated in the Zoomavoi's video, the glass demonstration. I want to point you guys towards this blue sky post by Jeb. So Gopi posted this. One thing I hope Minecraft gets one day is the ability to have fences not obsessively connect to every block around them. I know the survival debug stick or wrench is probably too much, but there's gotta be a way, man. Strip them with axes or something. Now, Jeb doesn't respond negatively to this at all, which is really good news. And now in this snapshot, we have a new data component called block transformer. And we all know that when Mojang changes something in the back end of the game, it can all prove rather consequential in the future. So what I'm gonna do is now give myself 9 different items. Here I have white paint, black paint, red paint, all the paint to fill up my hotbar. And you'll notice I have the block interaction range attribute set to pretty high so I can see this entire white paint canvas. And let's switch over to my red paint. And if I right click, all of a sudden I've now painted a red pixel on the screen. And if I just drag this around, you can see I'm now drawing something on the screen with red paint. It's not a meme. But anyway, I've got orange paint. I can now paint orange paint on it. Yellow paint here. There's no ray tracing happening in this data pack. I'm just giving myself an item to allow me to draw on this screen. It's just one command. It's all the same. I'm looking right up at it. I'm gonna fly really close. This is what's going on. I'm just right clicking. I'm now just changing the block state. Block ID in this situation, but you can change block states too. It's pretty freaking incredible. Let me clear and give myself another item. Now I've got shears, but these aren't your normal shears. And to demonstrate this, I need a pillager outpost. There's no pillager outpost here. Why can't I place a pillager outpost? If I maxed out all the structures, oh, there's one over there. I feel like I've just maxed out all the structure potential here. I've just placed too many abandoned camps everywhere here. Okay, this one does not have the solid wool type. I'll just go out to this side. This is the end of the world gen. Okay, so this is the solid wool type. There's a lot of feedback from the community asking them to change this to wool stairs. I agree. Also the mansion. But anyway, with these special shears, I can, in survival mode, right click and change them to wool stairs. I can do do it over here, here, and here, up there as well, and then over here too. Okay, I see the problem. They can't. All right. Now you're gonna notice some limitations right now to this. It's gonna change it to this type of wall stairs, and that's simply because there's currently no way to apply rule-based transformations to this debug item. It's a current bug right now. It's gonna hard lock me out of the world, and that's not good. I have to delete my player. I have to delete my player data. I'm gone. Dang, I gotta find the pillager outpost again. As I struggle to find it, let me just explain what happened there. So I'm trying to find a way to replace certain blocks within a certain context so that I can choose which stair rotation to place. And unfortunately, by doing that right now, it does crash the world. It's a confirmed bug, so it is possible. You just can't do it right now. Where is the pillager outpost? Oh, there it is. Okay. So right now, this stair is facing the wrong way. However, I can modify the block state property to make it facing south, and so if I go back here and right click, it does rotate the block back, and that just makes them face the right way this time. Even that one, if I want. Another thing you can do, this is a netherite sword, where if I right click, it places lava everywhere, so the potentiality of having debug items in survival mode has just gone up a lot, just by this simple change allowing items in your hand to interact with blocks and change their states. So this is a block transformer for a lava block, and I can just right click anywhere, and it just changes the block to this. I've just edited the whole video. I realized I did not even show you the command to do this. So first of all, I'm gonna give myself a stick. There we go. We have a regular stick. However, we're gonna give this stick a block transformer argument. And then we give it a block state provider. Type simple state. Let's do Minecraft water. And after that, this stick with every block you right click will turn into water. We can also give it a custom sound, bucket empty or something. With the particles, you're kind of limited to things like scrape, wax on, wax off, which is kind of annoying, but it's not really that big of a deal. So let's say we do this, and now it sounds like you placed water down. And you can place so many different rules here, as well as many as you want, which will be very handy if you have certain blocks that you want to replace. But right now it seems like it just crashes your game. Now, there's one big limitation I've noticed with this, and that is the unfortunate scenario of not doing exactly what I wanted it to do. Now, if you remember, this post on Blue Sky specifically said to right click something to remove the fence post connections on the abandoned campsite. So if I right click here on the grass, it's going to place a fence post, but it's going to connect to all of them. Let's say I've got a stone block in front of me. If I right click, it's going to place the correct fence post. This is because I've specifically said I want east false, south false, north false, west false, which basically means it's going to be a standing fence post. If I did it over here, it doesn't do that. It doesn't place the fence post that I want, even though I've said that I wanted to do that. It's going to unfortunately check for connecting blocks and then place the connectors accordingly. And I really don't like that, so nothing you can do about it. That is one very big limitation that I think this has. I sincerely hope maybe some feedback can be added. So like if I wanted to do it here, it's going to place the correct one. But if I go up here, it just changes the fence type, which is a very big shame. So quite clearly, this debug item is a big reference to things like scraping, waxing, stripping logs. And now it's allowing different items to have custom interactions with blocks, which is a very big improvement. I just think a little bit of tweaking is possible, but I might be wrong. Maybe there's a way to do it. Slime, please help me. Y'all look weird right now. You look so weird right now. What's a villager look like? Yeah, he looks weird too. I look weird too.